Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you mind introducing yourself to us?
Yeah, my name's Alfred Mulengas. Yeah, I come from the copper belt of Zambia, but I was grown up in Lusaka. I've been just living in Zambia the time I was born until now. I'm just living in Zambia.
So, Alfred, you've told me a bit about your testimony, and it's quite a powerful one. Do you mind sharing it with us?
Yeah, my the life that I've been through, it was a challenge for me. I was not even believing that I can reach to this extent where I've reached. So in my growing up life, I found out that the time I was born, I was told my father and my mother were not together. So my father went away for some years and went to live to another place. So we struggled when I was a baby, growing up with a single mother. My mom trying to put the things together so that we can live a proper life, but still it was very hard for her to keep us well because she was not educated, and the only job that she can only do is just maybe cleaning people's clothing, washing some other stuffs, and cleaning people's houses. That was the only jobs that my mom could manage to do. So we struggled in that life with my mom. So that's how my mom decided, like, no, you need to go to stay with your grandma in Lusaka. And that was in 2003. That's when my mom decided that we can go and stay with my grandma in Lusaka. So when we moved, me and my elder sister, we are just the two of us. Me and my elder sister, we moved to Lusaka, and things were just going well there in Lusaka. And we started going to school in the first grade. Me and my sister in the same grade. But me, growing up, I didn't like school, so I was just bringing just commotions, just doing violence, and I wanted that love of my father because growing up without anyone to call your father, you just have your mom, and people have been telling you your dad was just doing well. He's a truck driver. So I was growing up in that pain, like, how could my dad do this? How could we live this life? In the community where we were brought to in Lusaka is one of the most violent place in Lusaka, or let's just say in Zambia. Kanyama is one of the place that is known of violence. So when I started staying that side, I was sent by my grandma to go and buy something in the market. Then I dropped the money, and my grandma knew me as a person who liked stealing small things, stealing radish in the pot and some other stuff. So to my own thinking, I was thinking, when I go home, my grandma will not believe that I dropped the money. She would just say, you have eaten the money and I'll beat you for that. And if there was a person who didn't like to be beaten, I was one of them. I didn't like to be beaten. So I was like, I will not stand to be beaten by my grandma. So I decided not to go home. And that was my first time to spend a night in just in the market. I slept in the market, and the thieves were passing, going to they were going, I don't know where they are going to rob, but they were passing, and they saw someone breathing and shivering in the table, in the market tables. So they shouted, like, what are you doing here? And this is almost 01 to 02. I started explaining to them, no, I dropped the money and I was afraid. And then they were like, you are not afraid? You being outside here, no one to look after you. Are you not afraid that there are people who kill? I was like, if I die, that means I've died, I'm dead. So there's nothing I can do. So those thieves were very interested in me, and they were like, we can start working with this boy because the boy is very clever. And for us Bembas, we are known in Zambia to be the most clever people. Although most of us were not educated, but there's just cleverness that that people say is in us in Bembas. So after seeing,
How old were you at this point?
yeah, this time I was turning 7 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, before I was 9 years old.
Wow.
So me, my life, I was growing very jacked up, and I was very influential. I don't know why, but I was just very influential. So they liked it the way I was, because that time I was not using Nyanja, I was just using Bemba. So those thieves, they adopted me and started working together, going in the shops. They we break in, we take the money, and because I was looking, I was young, so they were like, we'll give the whole responsibilities to you. We'll be giving you the whole money that we steal, so that you will be called as a big boss, so that people will be, when people look at you, they will think maybe you are just a dwarf, like those people don't, who don't grow taller. They just stay short. So they were giving them those money, and I was, they say, oh, buy this. I just move the money, start dancing with the ladies, and I was dancing with the big women who are supposed to be my auntie or my mother. So I liked that life of, because being called a boss. Well, wherever you reach in the nightclubs, people just, oh, bosses, bosses. So me, I liked that film, and I was very consistent to work with those guys. Like I just said, like, I'll be just working with you guys until the time I'll get rich, because I wanted to become rich in my life. So it was, unfortunately, where we went to steal, there was some CCTV cameras. So we are captured, and the police started looking for us. So one of our guys were identified. So the guys were like, no, we can't let this guy, this boy, to die because of the things that he doesn't even know. We are the only one who was influencing this boy. So they took me back to where I used to stay at my grandma's place. So me, I wasn't happy with that idea of going back home, because I was used in that kind of life, having money, enjoying the luxury life, being called a boss wherever you go, but you are a small boy. So I really liked that lifestyle, and I stayed for a week. Then I said to myself, like, I need to go and visit those guys. So as I was going there, I just heard a gunshot straight shooting the guys who I used to work with. One of them ran away, then the other guy was shot to death. So I went near, the guy was just shivering, then he stopped breathing. That's how the guy died. So me, I went back home. I was very afraid, like if they found that even me, I'm involved, I don't know what will happen. So that's the time that I stayed just a little bit, and I turned 8 years. That's when I ran away from home. I think it was for 2 months. Then I was found by my grandma. I was brought back home. That's why my grandma decided, like, no, we are taking you back to the copper belt. You are going back to stay with your mother. We can't manage, because you are afraid. You are afraid that your mom will be beating you. Me, I'm not beating you. So I don't think you continue staying with me. That's when I was brought back to the copper belt, and I just stayed there for some months. The same year, when I was 8 years, my mom died. Was just disturbed by the police, the thieves. So that's how my mom died. And after my mom died, I was in that pain. Like, I started thinking, like, nothing I'm living for here on earth. But there are some words that my mom told me, like, you should look after your sister, although she's your elder sister. But you are a man. You Alfred, you have your own house, and you'll be the head of the house, and your sister will be loved by someone else, and your sister will be coming to cry to you, not you going to cry to your sister. So you need to be working hard. And when I was growing up, I always, those things were always sticking in my mind. Like, I have responsibilities, I have my sister, and I was trying by all means to sponsor my sister. So after the thing was over, they were planning where I'll be going. I just told them, no, me, I know where I'm going. So that's when I went to Kitwe, and I stayed for almost 5 years, 4 to 5 years, without my family hearing anything about me. They were like, no, Alfred is dead. Anyone forgot about me, like, I know this guy, we don't know where the guy is. And the time I was living in Kitwe, I was just living the life that even when I think about it, it's very painful. You know, stealing people's money, going in houses, lobbying people, chasing the people, beating people. You know, just causing those commotions that even the community or in town, during the day you can't even walk very well because you are most wanted. Everyone is looking for you. So when I stayed there, there is some people came to visit in the street, so they adopted me. I started staying at the orphanage called Friend of the Street Children in Kitwe. This is the facility where they help the street children. They'll take you to school. When they will find you sponsors around the world. Maybe I had sponsors who are from Netherlands. We had Chantel, Rora Rineo, and some people like Anita from Ireland, and some other people. They were coming to sponsor us from that orphanage. That's the orphanage where I even wrote my grade 7 exam. And from that time, I think I stayed for 6 years, 6 to 7 years without going to school. And I was taken back to school. So I was struggling, and my friends were laughing at me because my handwriting was not good. I didn't know much about reading. I didn't know any English. So my friends were laughing at me. So I was not comfortable at school the time I was writing my grade 7 exam. And that's the only time that I had that spirit, like I want to prove these guys wrong. If them they can pass, even me I can pass. So when we wrote our trials exam, that was it's called Moko exam. I failed. I was the last in class. I give up, like, no, I can't do this. That's when I ran away from the orphanage. I went back in the street. So the man who was in charge of that orphanage, Mr. The name was gone. The man who was in charge of that orphanage. The man came to visit me. Mr. Jack Farrow came to visit me, and he encouraged me a lot. Like, Alfred, you can do it. Me, I can see it, but you can do it. Don't give up. Even though your friend will be laughing at you, you don't have a good handwriting, you don't know how to do it, just believe in yourself. So I went back to the orphanage, and I wrote my grade 7 exam, and they made the program to take me back to home integration. So they took me back home, and my family was amazed. Everyone was amazed to see me because they were not believing that I'm still existing. I'm not in prison. I was not being sick. God was being there. So people were amazed the time they see me, my father, and a lot of people were amazed to see me that I'm still alive. I'm still existing. So the people at orphanage wanted to take me to grade 8 because I had sponsors, the one I was just mentioning to you. But my dad was like, no, my son cannot stay at the orphanage because me, I'm still alive, and some other stuff. So I want Alfred to come back to my house, and I'll be paying for him myself, so that I can have that responsibility to pay for my children's school fees. So me, I believed in my dad, like, oh, these years I have not been with my dad, but now since we are together, maybe he can do the things that he's saying. But my dad was not able to take me to school. I waited. I was very upset. Like, my friends, they are going to school. I was communicating with my friend, and my friends were telling me, no, we are in boarding school. We are doing this. And me, I was just staying at home, and one term was done. We are in the second term. So me, I started thinking of what I'm going to do to my dad that will make him to feel that pain that I'm feeling, like I'm not going to school. And he stopped people who are supposed to take me to school, but I'm just staying here at home. So my dad was discussing about the money that he was keeping with my stepmom, and that money was somewhere to 30,000 kwacha. So me, I heard the conversation, and I was in the living room. I was watching television. So I started planning of how I'm going to get inside my father's bedroom. And they were looking in the room because they know that me, I used to steal things, even from my family members. So they were not believing in me. So every time when I'm at home, the bedroom padlock was closed. So I started planning, and as being expert of stealing, I've been in that situation for many years. So it wasn't anything that is hard for me. So I just went inside. I picked something like a metal thing. Then I went inside, then I pushed the door. That's when I opened the door. I took the money and I came out. My father asked me, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to buy talk time. My sister wants to talk to me. That is the way I went. My father went inside the bedroom, finding the money is not there. My father called me, Alfred, return the money. I was like, no, I want you to feel how am I feeling? My friends are going to school, and this is the only time that I had that courage to go to school. But because of you, I'm not going to school. So I want you to feel that pain. And for sure, my dad felt that pain. And I told my dad I'm going to Kitwe, but I was going to Lusaka. So my father went to Quito to look for me, looked for me everywhere. I was nowhere to be found. And after some few days, my sister informed my dad, like, Alfred is in Lusaka. And Alfred shared the money that he stole from you. I shared to my sister and to my grandma. And I went back into the streets in the street of Lusaka. So that's the time now I became more violent after I reached in the street of Lusaka, because my dad was not able to pay for me the school fees and some other stuffs, and my father could not take care of me and my sister. So now I was in that pain, feeling the guilt of the thing that I've been doing these years that have passed, thinking about the life, how my grandma is living, how my sister is living, and about the death of my mom. I became more violent, and the spirit of self-esteem or the spirit of self-control was out of me. Like, I was not controlling myself. I was just doing anything that comes into my brain. I'll do that, and I'll make sure that I will not fail. That was the things that I started doing. I started just beating people anyhow, drinking beer anyhow. Like, sometimes I could spend a week, none I'm not sleeping. I'm just taking hard stuffs, the medicine that they give for psychiatric people. I was taking those drugs. I was taking heroin. I was taking codeine. That's called Benlin. I was taking marijuana. I was taking beer. So I had a lot of stuffs in my head.
How old were you at this point?
This time, because this time it was in 2015, so I think I was somewhere 18 years. Yeah, somewhere 18 years. Yeah, I was 18 years. So I became more and more violent, and those are the only time that I even start stabbing people, like with knives. I was not afraid of doing anything, and I joined. There are groups which are called Cadalism. So Cadalism are the people who are involved in the government, like the previous government. They bribe you with some money, and you'll be going to fight with oppositions, fighting with people, causing violence. Even if they take you to the police, when they just see your ID of Patriotic Front PF, you are a PF cadre, you not enter into in sales. You'll be just talked with. No, you stop this violence, stop these things that you are doing, then you will go back. So I was very encouraged about these things. Like, you are not afraid of the police, you are not afraid of the drug enforcement, because if you just show them the ID, the problem is done. So I became more and more. I was just too close to get mad. Like, the things that I started doing, it was beyond my thinking capacity. Starting just changing women's after the other, because I was at that time I even started selling drugs. And drugs, I was making huge money with the time I was selling drugs. That's why it was very hard for me to stop selling drugs, because of the money that I was getting into drug selling. I was taking drugs in different parts of Zambia. I was taking to universities. I was taken to some orphanages where I've been through, because I've been in 8 different orphanages. I was taking marijuana in the other provinces of Zambia, taking to the other quality to bring it in Lusaka, taking the other quality of marijuana, taking it to the other place. So those are the works that I started involving myself. And we made a group again with my friends, and that group did not last long. One of our friends, 3 of them were killed, and I'm the only one who is outside. Some of them, they are still in prison because some of them were judged, were the things that they did, they are staying almost for 15 years in prison. Some of them 11 years in prison. So I've been in things that it is a huge story that sometimes it even gets hard for me to share it all, because the things that I've done, they are even beyond me. Even sometimes when I sit down, I think like, am I the one who was doing those things? Yeah, so the life that we lived in the street, it was a life of fighting. As you can see, my hands, they have even become better. The lot of complication in my hand because of the fighting. So I started training in some boxing so that I can have some skills in terms of fighting. So I trained, but still I was not good enough. So I started to challenging those people I thought they were good enough, better than me, but still I was not reaching on where they reached. So when I was in Chingola, me and my friends, we made the plan like we need to go to the witch doctor so that we can have that steam, because there are some charms that you put, they catch you with a laser braid, and they put some charms. So if you want, you can choose one of the animals that you want. Me, I wanted the charm of the python. Like if I'm fighting, I'll be standing on my toes, then I'll be moving as if I'm a snake. If someone is throwing the punch, I'll be just moving as if I'm a snake. And one of my friends, they wanted the leopard and some other stuffs. So we went and see the witch doctor, and we sat there. I was like, no, this is the money that you need to bring. We gave the witch doctor the money. He was saying we need to pay him, I think it was 300. And one of my friends, all of us, we paid. Then he told us to go and buy a chicken so that we can take the blood of the chicken. Then we took the blood of the chicken. Then he went in the bush. I didn't know how he find the snake. He came with a snake, and he was cutting on the snake. Then he's cutting on you. He cut on the snake. Then he's cutting on you. And all of my friends were done with that ritual thing. So he told us after the following day in the morning, you will be powerful. So you should just go and cause a fight. Then you'll find out how you'll be doing things. You'll be just like you'll be not feeling as if you are yourself. So me, I waking up in the morning, I was very happy to be one of the strongest people. And I was like, now this is the time I'll make a name. Like I want to be known in Zambia. I know Alfred, he managed to beat 16 people, 17 people. So I was very, very, very ready for those things. So we went, me and my friends. There was another group which was called SOD, Sons of the Devil. So we went to those guys and we caused a fight with them. So my friends, those things were working, and just suddenly on me, it didn't work. I tried to throw the punches, but I was just using the natural skills that I had. So it was very hard. I was beaten by the people. They started, stepping on me. I was beaten until my friends came and they rescued me. And then they said, why Alfred, these things, they are not working? And I was very surprised, like, why is these things not working? We went back to the witch doctor. He was like, no, maybe your blood, you need to go and do another sacrifice. You need to bring another chicken. Then you bring another money. Then it will be maybe 600, because you need you need some more powerful charms so that you can be able to be powerful. So that's when I said, maybe I'll be just using my natural power. While my friends, they are using the charms. Me, I'll be just using the natural power. So that's how I started using the natural power. And after some months, I went to Ndora. As to Ndora there, I found the woman who is called Edith Nawakwi. Edith Nawakwi was an opposition. He wanted to stand for president thing. So he wanted to recruit some boys that will be helping her to go and if you have lorries, to organize the people, if you want to distribute people, giving people a lot of things. So he wanted to a group that she can be going with. So she was looking for that guy, and one of the people, she was like, I know a boy is very influential. He has been in this Kadarism things. He has been in many places. He has been in the street. I know this boy will be able to find these people that you are looking for. So the woman came and to look for me, and just to see the car, I was very afraid. Maybe the police who have come to look for me. I was planning to learn just to see it was the red who came out. So I was told, we want to talk to you, so we can't talk while we are here, so let's just go somewhere else. So we went there, we had the meeting. Then she told me I need people to recruit so that you can be my cadres, and I'll be paying you some certain amount when we do the programs. You'll be just there to guide me, to protect me, and to do some other scandals. So I was happy with that because I knew the lady was like, even when I become the president of Zambia, you'll be somehow, promoted. You'll be on the good position just to do the thing that I've told you. So I managed to recruit the guys, and I think I had almost somewhere to one something. I managed to recruit the guys, so I brought them together, and then I told the same lady, like, I've recruited the guys, you meet us at the ground. So the woman came, the woman was very happy with me. She was like, no, will really work with you. So we worked with that woman, we were going, causing commotion. She was very happy with how we used to do the programs. So me, the current president and the cadres that he had, some of the cadres, they knew me. So they were like, oh, the guy who's with us is another team. And if you just bring down that boy, Alfred, then we are done with the whole group. So they started fetching for me. They were looking for me everywhere. So the people started telling me there are people who are looking for you, and they are working in groups, and they are PF cadres. I was like, these guys who are looking for me, this is dangerous. This is death following you. So that's how I decided to run away from Ndola. After I ran away from Ndola, that's when I went back in Lusaka. And my friend just told me we have been beaten. So that's how the program with me and that red ended. And one of the suddenly the same red is not standing anymore to be an opposition. I think things were not working out, for her. So those are the situations that have been in my life. There's just a lot of stuffs that I can share. So God has a plan for me. So this is now how I was introduced to the Seventh-day Adventist. It was in 2017 when people were going to church on Sabbath. I was sitting there making the bowls of marijuana, waiting for my customers to come. And these men wearing suits, and they were just looking smart, on point. And those people look like that to us is just government officials, and those people work for drug enforcement. So I was thinking in my head, those people, when they just told me they would like want to go with you to church, I looked at them, how they are looking, and how I was looking, because that time I stayed a month without bathing, no shower. I was just changing clothes, and I became super black. Like I was very black, had long hair. So I was looking at these people like, what these people are thinking. Because as street kids, no one wants to mingle with us. The only time where people come to see us is only when they are in groups, because they know that they will be able to control us. But they just want to take me along at church. Or maybe the drug enforcement, they have changed the way they are coming to take people to prison. So I was thinking a lot in my mind, and I told them, like, you are talking to me, and they said, yes, want you to go with you at church, because we are almost like 5 of us where we are sitting. I was like, me going to church? Yes, want you to go to church with you. So I accepted that offer of going to church. I talked to myself like, it has been long since I went to church. So maybe today it is an opportunity for me to go to church. So I went with them to church. And I'll never forget, that was the time I received the message that I've never received in my life. Like that day, I wanted even to cry, because the preacher man was talking about the life of Paul, and the examples that he gave about the life of Paul, about the things Paul was doing, and I was comparing those things to the things that I've done, and I found that I'm not even reaching close to where Paul was, because Paul was killing the children of God. The people worship God, and me, I've never even taken a life before. I've just stolen money from people, but not to kill anyone. So I was very touched by that word, and I even when the message was done, I followed the man who was preaching, like, this is the message I've never heard. Or maybe someone has talked to you about me. And the man was like, no, no one has told anything about me. I've never seen you. It's just that is the work of the Holy Spirit. Then I asked the man, what can I do? The man was like, no problem. If you truly want to follow Jesus, just continue praying and continue coming to church and come for Bible study. And I went for Bible study, and they were talking about the carbonated drinks and caffeine, because me, I liked these drinks which has caffeine in it, because so that at night I'll be not sleeping. I liked those drinks. I liked them very much. So after I received that information of how those drinks are injurious to our health and what they damage our brain, so I was very touched with that Bible study. And I think just coming on Sabbath, just today, I've learned these whole things. What if I continue coming to church? I'll learn more things. So I continued going to church. I asked for the Bible, and they gave me the Bible. I prayed to God, like, God, I don't know how to read the Bible. And I've not been reading the Bible the time I was young. I've never, like, to have a personal study with the Bible, or to know many things in the Bible. Most of the time I was just being taught, or maybe someone is sharing a story. So I prayed to God, like, God, I want you to take me to a book where I'll start to read. So I closed my eyes. I was just flipping the page, and I flipped to Revelation chapter 13. That was the first chapter that I started reading. So I had a lot of questions when I read Revelation chapter 13. So I went to ask the people at church. They started explaining to me, and they told me that you just start Revelation chapter 1, then go bit by bit. If you have many questions, just come to us. We'll be able to answer those questions. So that's how I started enjoying the things about Christianity and some other stuffs. And I told myself I'll be not selling marijuana on Sabbath. And that was the time, like, I involved now, Satan bringing more customers on Sabbath. But I was just brave, and I said, no, I'll be not selling these things on Sabbath. So that's how after I stopped studying on Sabbath, I just said to myself, now I'm done for this drug dealing. I'll be not doing this work anymore. I want to start doing good things to people, not taking these things which will be destroying. If it is me to be smoking, it's better me myself smoking, but not to take these things to my friends or selling them. So that's how I stopped selling marijuana. I started just smoking and doing some other drugs. And bit by bit, I was like, no, these drugs I need to be putting away, so that bit by bit, I'll stop doing drugs. So for that time, I did not understand the concept of how you can change, because I was thinking by my own strength, maybe I can manage to change. So I was trying to ask people who have been in drug addicts, and most of them were telling me, just drink a lot of water, drink a lot of sweets, and you do this, do exercise. Yes, those things they can help, but only God can do that miracle. So I didn't understand the concept of how I'm going to change. So it became hard for me, even though I was baptized in 2017, but still I was still struggling with some hard stuffs. I was baptized in 2017, but the journey continued. I tried to stop in 2018. I stopped. Again, I backslided. I went back in smoking and doing some other stuffs. So now in 2019, I offered a prayer to God, like, God, You are the person who created me. If this what people say about me, no, Alfred, God has chosen you because I used to share the gospel while I'm still drunk, while I'm still high with marijuana, while I'm still in that sinful nature. But I was taking that advantage to share the word of God to my friends, because that passion, like every time when I did something new, I wanted to share to my friends in the street. And from that time, they changed my name to a street to I was called in the street I tested, but they changed my name to pastor. So most of the people in the street, when I go, they just call me pastor, pastor, because of sharing the word of God. And I became addicted to the word of God. Like everywhere where I go, I used to walk with the Bible. Even if we are going in Chiboya, we have to go and buy drugs, but still the Bible is still with me. So I offered the prayer to God, like, God, I need you to take me to a place where I'll be able to stop all these things that I've been doing. So I prayed that prayer in 2019, but still I was waiting for that answer to come. In 2020, we were taken by the government to the military institute, and to that military institute, that's where I learned about bricklaying and plastering. And after some while, we came back from that skills training, and the government were like, no, we are not employing you, but we just buy some tools for you so that you can be working by yourselves. So when I came back to that military, then I started asking myself, like, is this the place where I was praying for, or what? So I started waiting again in 2020. I waited 2021, 2022, 2023. That's when the people from Riverside and some other institute, some other helping organization, it was on New Year. They brought some food stuff and some other stuffs to us who live in the street. And me, I was a street reader. Like I was reading in the street because I've been in the street for almost 17 years. So I've known a lot of people. They know me, and some of the people I'm the one who even showed them how to live in this life, how to live in the streets, how to survive. I trained them how to fight. I trained them how to smoke. I trained them a lot of things. So they used to obey me everywhere that I say. So I was the one who was organizing. So there was a man who have been in this same situation, Mr. Agrippa Mumfune. He has even written a book, A Call Out of Chiboria. He's the man who helped me through. And that man talks to my friend, Mr. Agrippa, talks to Andrew. And Andrew came to me in the street and then told me, Alfred, I've been invited by someone to go to Kafiwe. And I think you are the only person that I can go with to the place where I don't know, because you are very influential, and you communicate with people more than me, because my friend is not that good in terms of talking. So we came together from Lusaka. Mr. Agrippa sent us the transport. We came to Kafiwe. We stayed here. We worked for almost 5 months. In that time, we were just working for 35 kwacha per week, or per day. 35 kwacha per day. Per week, we are taking 210. That's the money that we are taking per week. So my friend was discouraged. No, Alfred, we can't get in. This is a small amount of money to get 1 week. In the street, we are just making this 200 money just in hours, not even a day. And then us coming here, we start getting this money. No, Alfred, I don't think me I'll manage. So even me, I was like, yeah, boy, we can't manage this thing. So what we will do is just that we'll go back to Lusaka. So we are saving some money. And I think at the 700 kwacha, my friend at 700 kwacha, we told Mr. Agrippa, like, we are going in Kafiwe to buy some stuffs for the house. Then we went to Lusaka. To Lusaka, we stayed there, we squandered the money was over. So a lot of people, they continue insisting, like, Alfred, just go back where you came from. We think that is the only place where you can be able to change. We have heard stories about Riverside. Riverside is a good place for you. Alfred, please go back. So a lot of people...
What is Riverside?
Riverside.
Yeah, what is it?
Oh, Riverside is a farm institute where where there is a lot of different activities, where there are skills. There is evangelism skills, there are health evangelism, agriculture, and tailoring and designing. So at Riverside, there are a lot of things that there are a lot of things that happens at Riverside. It is a farm. There are a lot of beautiful things around, beautiful people around. Yeah, so Riverside is an institute where it's just a mission institute.
Mm. Okay, cheers.
Yeah, so I came alone back to Riverside. Then I started staying, although it was very hard for me because of the language barrier and you know, being alone without your friend. I didn't have any friend that time, but I was just consistent because I know the things that I wanted in my life. Because in the street, quite alright, I was making a lot of money, but without budget. I was making a lot of money for these years that I stayed long period of years in the street, but I have no any car. I didn't have any blankets to cover myself. I just had one pair of shoes, one pair of trousers, one pair of shirt. But I was having a lot of money. You were just spending that money to the wildlife, on drugs and some other stuffs. So to Riverside, although I was taking a small amount of money, but at least I was seeing the progress. Like I was in 210, I was managing to make a budget for 1 week, and I'll eat and I'll cook and I'll enjoy life in just a small amount of money.
Were you still struggling with addictions at this point?
Yeah, I struggle. It's just that I don't take them, but there are sometimes that I feel like, let me just go and do it. Let me just go and do it. But the only thing that I do, I just go back to my knees. Because I've been doing drugs for many years, and I've never seen anything good coming out of them. While me spending all that money that I've spent on drugs, I tried to calculate, and I found out that I'm a rich guy, but I was spending those money to the people who are getting a lot of money, like people who have pubs, who have bars, who have nightclubs. Them, they are becoming more richer, and us who are poor, we are becoming more poor because any amount of money that you have, you are spending on drugs. And most of the people who sell those things, they don't even drink or take one of those drugs. If we can take 100% of the people who sell drugs and alcohol, we can just say maybe 15% of the people, they are the people who take those drugs. But this majority, they don't even take those drugs. Or even though they will try to take those drugs, it will be just in a smaller amount. So for me, that's the only thing that makes me not to go back. Because if I go back and I start doing drugs again, my friends in the street, they will die in sin because of me. Because I've seen that God has called me for another mission, to go to my friends who are struggling with different addiction, because me, I understand them. I've been there in that situation. So I think I have a huge job to do. If I neglect and continue the bad stuff, taking drugs and doing some other stuffs, I don't think I'll last for many years, because God has given me this opportunity, finding good people who are always there for you, always to encourage you. And one of the sudden, just to lose these things just because of the things that they are just 5 minutes of pleasure and you are done with that. Yeah. So even though I know it's a everlasting journey, because drugs came part of me. Like I don't remember one of the moments that I was staying sober without anything in my head. At least if there is no money, there is no beer, there is no what, but marijuana, it was something that I used to walk with it everywhere I go. I used to travel distance, traveling in the night, coming back at the orphanage where I used to stay, 05. Oh, this night I was not afraid of the thieves. I was not afraid of the police. I was not afraid of anything that can happen to me dangerous. Only thing that I wanted, it was drugs. So I became a slave of drugs. So, because if I give Satan another opportunity to start using me, I think I'll be one of the worst people, and I can live a life of regret because my friend whom I came with at Riverside, as I'm talking to you, my friend is in prison. Just before I came back to Riverside, after a month later, I was informed by my friend, like, Alfred, your friend is in prison. And me, that's when I started doing evangelism course. And from that time, I start giving myself an examples. My friend didn't even do an evangelism course. But after just running away from this place, they just committed a crime, they stole money, and is in prison. What about me, who have learned about God? Not little things, but many things about God, and I'm still learning more things about God. And for me, just to neglect all the things that I've known in my life, and just to go away and go back where I come from, I think I will not last even for a year. I think that will be my farewell here on earth. So that's why I'm trying by all means to fight and to stand strong, and even for my children unborn and some other family members, because I have my grandma, I have my sister. All those people, they will need help from me. So if I neglect my life and continue the life of drugs, I don't think anything good will work out. Yeah. So I've gone in many things. um, the only thing that I can like is just people who listen to this video, is that you can just continue praying for me, just praying for me that God can give me strength to stand strong in this journey, because it's not an easy journey, because I'm the only one in my family who's an Seventh-day Adventist, and many of them, they are just in different churches. So there are a lot of things that is going on in my family. How can we go to that church? But the only thing that is bringing them to the thought is that they have taken me to different pastors, and I've gone to different pastors, but they have tried to pray for me. They have tried all those things that they can do, putting anointing oil, giving me holy water, doing a lot of things that they thought it can help me, but still it was not working out. So after I joined the Seventh-day Adventist, they have seen the change. They have seen that God can change someone, not just to go to see the pastor or to see anyone else, but just through studying the Bible and to listen the word of God. I've been asked by many people in Zambia, because I'm known in some other places in Zambia. I've been asked questions: how did you manage to, well, which pastor did you go to for you to break the addiction, to stop all the things that you are doing? The only thing that I told them is that just praying and studying the word of God. That's the only thing that helps us to be strong in this in this life that we live in. I've lot of challenges that I'm facing. There is a lot of things that I need to improve by myself. So I just need your prayers, people, that you can continue. Your prayers will really help me. If there is any way you can try to help me, you can help. There is no problem. And I really thank God for changing my life, and for granting me these all blessings that He have shown me. Just the time that I've committed my life to just God to use me. I've done tailoring. I'm a designer by profession. I am an evangelist. Just giving an opportunity to God to work in my life. God has revealed Himself to me. He has shown me a lot of blessings, that even the way I used to look, if I was to share some photos with you, some of the people, they don't even believe that if I was the guy that I've been showing them on my Facebook, the photos that I saved, and the time I used to get drunk. So even me myself, I cannot believe. Even my family, they cannot believe. So the only thing that I can like is that you can just continue praying for me, that God can help me in this journey, because I'm still struggling in some ways. Satan never stops tempting anyone. It's not that if you overcome some things, but if you can be able to overcome some things, but still the devil will be trying to bring more tricks so that he can move you on the presence of God. But me, I don't want to do that, and I want to be strong. I want to learn more about God, and I want my relationship with God to grow stronger and stronger. That's why I'm just struggling financially, but I just want to enter into full-time ministries that I will just dedicate my life just working for God. Wherever God takes me, I go and preach the gospel, because I've worked for the devil almost the time I was born, until the time I was 26 years old. I was just working for the devil for all these years, working for the devil. I don't even know if I can stay another 25 years ahead of me. So the only years that I've left with, I just want to share it to the gospel of God, to just work for God, so that the gift that He has put in me, it can work, so that those people God has instructed me to meet, I should meet them. And every day I commit myself like, God, I need to preach to someone, even just to say to that person that God loves you, is something that can change someone. And just to invite people to church, I almost like every Sabbath, I like just to come with a new person, because even me, I was just invited. And not most of the disciples of God were preached after they were recruited, but just by invitation, but to Jesus, and they learned more things and they believed in Jesus. So even me, just by inviting people to church, I know God will find a way to preach to them and speak to their heart, so that even them, they can change the way I was changed by just invitation.
That's a powerful testimony, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it with us.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome.